The backstage corridor is narrow and dim, with walls that seem to absorb every sound except the quiet breathing of a young girl sitting on the cold floor. Her name is Lena, and she has traveled farther than she ever imagined. Not just across oceans, but across a lifetime of struggle that began in the poorest corners of Cebu City. Her dress is simple, faded from many washes and borrowed from a neighbor who believed in her dream more than she believed in herself. Her feet are bare because shoes were never something she owned for long. She presses her knees to her chest and rocks gently, humming a tune that feels older than her years. It is the same melody she used to sing late at night when the city slept and hunger kept her awake. A producer approaches softly, asking if she is ready, and Lena looks up with eyes already filled with tears. She nods slowly because words feel too heavy. She thinks of her mother who stayed behind working endless days selling vegetables on the street just to afford this chance. She thinks of the storms that flooded their home and the nights she sang just to forget the sound of rain hitting broken tin. When her name echoes through the hallway, she freezes for a moment, then stands wiping her face with shaking hands. Each step toward the stage feels like walking into another world, a world that was never meant for someone like her, yet somehow waiting. The lights rise slowly, and the massive Ireland's Got Talent stage opens before her like a dream she is afraid to touch. The audience quiets, sensing something fragile unfolding in front of them. Lena stands alone at the center, small against the brightness, gripping the microphone as if it might disappear. The judges look at her gently, noticing the nervous way she holds herself, the way her shoulders carry weight far heavier than her age. One judge asks her name and where she comes from. Her voice is barely a whisper as she says Cebu City in the Philippines. When asked why she is here, she pauses, swallowing hard, before saying she sings because it is the only thing that ever made the pain quiet. Her eyes drop to the floor and tears begin to fall before she even starts. The room holds its breath. The music begins softly and Lena closes her eyes. The first note escapes her lips, trembling, uncertain, yet pure. It floats through the hall, thin but honest, and something shifts. People lean forward, drawn in by a voice that feels unprotected and real. As the melody builds, Lena's voice grows stronger, carrying the weight of every hungry night and every silent prayer. There is something hypnotized in the way she sings, as if she herself is caught inside the sound. Her tears continue to fall, but she does not stop. Instead, they become part of the song, shaping each note with raw emotion. The audience begins to feel it, a strange pull deep in their chests. One judge presses a hand to their mouth, eyes glistening already. Another judge shakes their head slowly, disbelief written across their face. This voice should not exist, they think. Not from someone who has lived such a hard life with no training, no comfort, no safety net. Lena reaches the chorus, and her voice opens fully, rich and aching, filling every corner of the hall. It is no longer just a song. It is a confession, cry, release. She begins to sob while singing, and instead of breaking the performance, it makes it unbearable and beautiful. The judges are no longer composed. One leans forward, elbows on the table, tears streaming freely. Another wipes their eyes, but cannot stop them from falling again. Memories surface, uninvited loss, regret, moments they thought were buried. The song seems to reach into each person and pull out something they forgot they were carrying. The audience sits motionless, many crying openly, some holding hands with strangers. Lena's small body shakes as she sings the final lines, her voice rising then falling like waves against a shore. When the last note fades, she cannot hold herself up any longer. She drops to her knees, clutching the microphone, crying openly, her head bowed as if ashamed of her own emotions. For a second, there is silence so complete it feels unreal. Then the hall erupts. Applause crashes like thunder, and the entire audience rises to their feet. Cheers mix with sobs and whistles, but the emotion remains heavy and deep. The judges stand too, clapping above their heads, tears still falling. One judge steps out from behind the table, walking toward Lena, and kneels in front of her. They speak softly, telling her that her voice did not just entertain, it healed something broken inside them. Another judge follows, their voice shaking as they admit they have never felt so powerless and grateful at the same time. They tell her that she turned pain into beauty, And that is the rarest talent of all. Lena looks up, confused, overwhelmed, tears blurring everything around her. She cannot understand the words fully because her heart is pounding too loud. The golden lights flare as the button is pressed. Shower.